Welcome to the Marketing Mentor Podcast with Ilise Benun, founder of marketing-mentor.com and author of 7 books, including The Creative Professional's Guide to Money. Since 2008, Ilise has been interviewing her clients and other successful professional creatives who are doing what it takes to stop the feast or famine syndrome, get better clients, and command the fees they deserve, and sharing the nuts and bolts of what they've learned so you can do it too. You can find more at marketing-mentor.com. And now, here's Ilise Benun.
Are you charging too much or too little? Do your clients value or even know how much time and effort they'll get if they hire you? Does that come through clearly in your proposal? Laurie Millotte used to worry about all of these things, but she had an aha moment while watching my Creative Live course, Command the Fees You Deserve. It was in the lesson where I described 3-tiered pricing as a way to give your clients options to choose from. Laurie tried it and it worked. In fact, it's worked so well for her that she joined me on the podcast to share what she's learned. This is Ilise Benun of marketing-mentor.com. And in this podcast interview with Laurie Millotte, who does branding and packaging for wine and food, she describes how she packages her services, how she presents them in her proposals, and how she sells them to her clients, even her crazy package. Listen, then try it for yourself. Hello, everyone. This is Ilise Benun of marketing-mentor.com. And today we are here to talk about packaging your services or package pricing. And I am here with Laurie Millotte. Is that how you pronounce your name, Laurie?
Correct, yes.
Beautiful. And please introduce yourself, Laurie.
So I'm a French/Canadian independent creative director, and I specialize in the branding and packaging of wine, food, beer, things like that, yummy things.
Beautiful. And just as a little aside, as we're talking, you're a bit of a nomad. You're flying around the world, and you're in Monterrey, Mexico at the moment, yes?
Yes, totally.
And I'm bringing that up because a lot of people I'm talking to lately are these creative nomads, which seems to be a bit of a trend. So just tell me a little bit the thinking behind that.
The thinking is simple, in a way. Like, I've always enjoyed traveling, and I realized that to do my business, I only need a good computer. So thank you for my MacBook Pro and a decent, if possible, good internet connection. And so I decided to take my laptop on the road and work with clients that are all over the world. So I'm moving in one direction, and my clients may be in Canada. I can have some in Sweden, in Germany, everywhere really. It doesn't matter. I just have to work out the time difference. And what I enjoy doing as well is meeting other design creatives along the road and see how they work. Because the beauty of it all is we all, like, no matter where you are, Vietnam, Japan, or Mexico, we all work with exactly the same tools, like Apple Computer and Adobe software. And yet we all arrive with very different creative solutions. So I'm very fascinated by that. And that's what I'm doing on the road right now.
Beautiful. So today we want to talk about this new bundle, and you have graciously and generously contributed an example of one of your proposals in this new bundle where you offer 3 tiers of pricing. And so if you would tell us a little bit about that proposal, and then I want to get to how do you sell 3 tiers of pricing to a client?
All right. So it was a big aha moment when I realized that I could propose first a 3-tiered pricing. Before that, I was always scratching my head. Am I undercharging? Am I overcharging? What are the clients going to think? So it was a lot of dilemma, and it wasn't really fun, really. And so with the 3-tier pricing, I just realized that it can be much more flexible than I thought it would be. The way I approach it is I have what I would call, the premium package, which is of course like the most expensive one, and then the middle ground, and then the lower price. The way I built it is the lower priced one is always meeting exactly what the client, potential client, asked for. Like I always I listen to their needs and I exactly will list them. However, because I have now 10 years in the industry, I have a lot of knowledge in the area, and I realize like when I hear them say some things, I realize that they may actually need other things or complementary things. So that would be how I bring my second middle ground package, where I mentioned that, hey, you still get everything that you mentioned you wanted, but it seems to me that you would also most likely need this, and have you thought of that? And often clients are like, oh, whoa, I didn't think about that. And then the third package, which is the most expensive one and is my favorite, not because just of the price point, which is of course awesome, but it's the third one is just a lot of fun because I really get to think broad and wide and really be a part of the team with a client, and just like bringing lots of ideas, like less constraint, and for sure it costs more, but it is the best value. Like you get all my undivided attention to make your project sing. And because I always found the design or the creative process is always a bit abstract to other people. Like nobody has really an idea. I do two things to help my potential client, my lead, to understand what this is all about. The first thing is I use metaphor. Like I said, I work a lot in the wine and food industry. So for these three packages, I decided to give them little nicknames so people can refer to, and it's a bit more lively than number 1, 2, 3. So for the bare minimum package, we have menu of the day. So I use like the metaphor of the food menu that you have in the restaurant. Usually like it's a lunch, it's going to be good, but it's also like the minimum. Like there's no substitutions, no changes. It is what it is. And then the middle ground package, I called it à la carte, which is, it's a bit more like pick and choose. Like you think of a menu at the restaurant. Everybody knows what it looks like. And this is what you get, but with a design process. And finally, for the all-inclusive package, I called it Chef Special, which is, like this bespoke service you ask of a chef when you go to a nice restaurant saying, hey, bring me all the best you have on the menu. I don't even need to look at it. I know you'll deliver. And it's proven for me like very successful because it helps people visualize and understand what this is all about and the differences. So in the case of the estimate that I'm sharing with you, Ilise, this was for an ice cream company in Berlin, Germany, and sent my different pricing. The pricing for the chef special felt to me a bit outrageous, to be honest, but I was like, hey, I have 2 other pricing, worse come to worse. And yet within an hour, it was like, I had like a big smiley face, and this is a person that works a lot with chef to develop the recipe, and is like, I really want the chef special. I want you to treat me like I'm in a bespoke restaurant. And I was like, awesome, this is terrific. So that's why I knew like it really worked. And then the complementary thing, I always share the design process more as a timeline, where I explain like the different steps that will get us, to the end result. So it can be like the kickoff for what I call the strategy session, and then we have the research phase, and so on and so on. It's in the document that I share with you. And I find like by combining these 2 things, I really demonstrate my expertise in the creative process, and I get people on board.
I wonder also, as you were describing it, especially the chef special, you said that's your favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think that is an opportunity. A lot of people complain that some of the work they do for their clients doesn't get to be that creative, or they don't get to bring their creativity to it. And if you're offering 3 different packages, and one which
proposes more than the client asked for, that would be an opportunity to really be creative. And it sounds like in your case, your enthusiasm for what you're going to be able to do in that situation comes through and may be part of how you sell it.
Oh, I think it's a big part, actually. I always have like a free, like a strategy session, like introduction session rather, where I try to understand where the client is coming from, what are the problems, what they have done in the past, what's working, not working, and really try to understand if it's going to be a fit and if the two, we can work together. And I will always also conclude that I will get back to them with, I already announced that they will have 3 different options to choose from. So that gets them already kind of a bit intrigued. So I'm already announcing ahead of time that I won't deliver just one price. And actually, even with 3 packages, I give ranges. Like it's not a fixed price. And I do communicate that I am a very, when I believe strongly in something, I get the best of my work and I'm being very enthusiastic and I will go the extra mile. And I think just the way I express it, by being very just myself, it really, the client get that, like the leads get that and they get very excited themselves. I like to really, when I talk proposal and ideas at the beginning with a client, I try to get them excited by the possibilities. Like I like to bring that design is not something that you just slap at the end, but it's like rather like it's an opportunity. And often it was the case with this client, with the ice cream client, I bring a fresh look on the full enterprise really. And some of the things I noticed, like they've been so much into it that they don't realize it. So they really appreciate that and they really realize that I can only deliver that with a higher price point because it seems only fair. So, and to me, it's also just a great way to see how is the lead going to react. And if I have a person that said that they won't work with me, but they're very lukewarm or they take forever, I always say I've got 2 weeks for the pricing of my proposal. Otherwise, the price no longer apply. And it's not because, on like day number 15, like the prices are changing or increasing. But to me, it's just a test to see if this person is committed in their business, in their vision. If within 2 weeks they haven't gotten back to me or even ask, hey, I'm still thinking about it, can I get back to you? Then I'm like, you know what, you're not going to be as much into it that I want to be myself in the project, so we're probably not going to be the right fit. And so that's what I use a proposal as well for. It's kind of a test. I think it's a test that goes both ways. And that's only something that I recently realized. It's like, of course, it's a test for the client, for the prospective lead to understand how I work, but it's also a test to see, do I want to work with this person? Will I get the best work? And I don't want to sound like very, like a diva, like, oh, I only work with the best people, but we have limited capabilities. And if you take everything that comes your way, even though it's not the right fit, when the perfect fit shows up, you can't take it because your schedule is full. And that's very sad.
That is sad, Laurie. And one of the things I love about what you're saying is that you are really putting yourself in control of your business and in control of your process. And it's interesting. It almost sounds like just a shift in your perspective to see that not only are they testing you through the proposal process, but you are also testing them.
A big shift. And I think it's an important one. And I think you get your prospective leads, like, in a way, respect you that much more for it. Like, you may be a freelancer, but you are an entrepreneur, like your own creative business owner. But you are in charge of your business and behaving like with a certain amount of control, like not sounding or looking desperate, even though you may be, but not like showing it, displaying it rather, goes a long way about being a professional. I'm still being very myself, and sometimes I do swear in conversations, and it's not the greatest. I know that, but at the same time, this is who I am, and like, is everybody okay with that? And I want the client to be also very open-minded, like the creative, like. You get the best of it when people kind of let down of their defenses, and that's when the best work comes out. So I want to make sure as soon as possible that this is going to happen. And the proposal I discovered actually is a good tool for that. I didn't know that until, I took your classes.
Interesting. Beautiful. All right. Any final advice, especially on how to present these 3 tiers or packages, or how to sell them for people who are interested?
I think you should, when you talk to your potential leads and everything, you should always introduce the fact that this is how you're going to present it. And you may even want to start saying, like, I know maybe you've never had it before, or maybe you never worked maybe with a designer that presented 3-tier pricing. However, this is how I work, and I'm doing it because it gets the best service, or the best value, the best offer to my client. So always, the way I like to present it is like I always give the heads up, so it's not like a big surprise, like where is this coming from, which goes a long way. And then always explaining that it's in the best interest of the client. If they really just want to stick with what they asked for, yeah, for sure they can get it at the menu of the day package. It's not a problem. I'm happy to do it. But just so you know, there's also these other options that are available to you that you may not have thought of. We need to remember, like creatives, that we are the expert in our fields, and we can't expect our clients to know all of their needs, and it's our role to present it to them in a way that is relatable.
And actually, that brings up one last question, which is, if they think they know what they need, and they tell you what it is, and they have a specific budget for that need, but your 2 additional packages are over that budget, and sometimes, as you said, maybe even a little outrageous.
Yeah.
How do you think about that when you're essentially going to say, I know you said your budget was X, but here I'm going to propose something that's double that?
First, I think it's totally okay, because you still answered their immediate need. Like, you still have an option that's within their budget and exactly what they asked for. So you did listen to them. And I would mention that in the intro pages, like really mention like that you understand their needs and you can deliver. Of course, if it makes sense, the budget and the. However, I would still deliver different prices, because they might still miss some things, or they may have offers had some oversight on another, and I would still do it. Maybe I would not give 3 packages. Maybe I will stick to just one extra alternate option with more services, and it's just again to show my expertise, and maybe and also what I think is best. I guess the thing as well, I always believe in the packages I deliver. It's not something I'm just not adding, for the sake of adding. This is going against my my work ethic. I really believe in what the values I'm adding with the extra services. And I would just still propose another option and mention that, hey, this may not be happening right at the gate, but keep in mind that you may need that and that. Maybe we can revisit. Would you pick the other option? Maybe we can revisit if it all goes well and add these services later on. It's just keeping the conversation open. Yep. Very important.
And do you find then that sometimes when you offer the package that's over their budget, that somehow they find money somewhere for it?
Totally. Yeah, because as I think, usually the list is much longer of all the services. So there is, and I mentioned it, it is the best value. Even though it's the most expensive service, it is truly the best value. It's just would I separate all of the services and would you pick them just a la carte? It would come up to more expensive. So when people see the math, it's just well, actually, yeah, it does make more sense to pay a bit more upfront, but get all of this thought through, and they do find the money. Yeah.
And everybody loves a deal anyway.
Exactly.
Good. All right. This is beautiful, Laurie. Thank you. Tell people where they can find you online.
All right. So they can find me online on LinkedIn. So it's Laurie, Laurie. My last name is Millotte, Millotte. And also on my website, lauriemillotte.com. So it's my first name and last name. And I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to ask. I check my emails regularly.
Beautiful. Thank you, Laurie, so much. And this is Ilise Benun of marketing-mentor.com. And if you haven't signed up for my quick tips, I hope you will at marketing-mentortips.com. And thanks again, Laurie. We'll see you soon.
All right. Bye, Ilise.
Bye.
Thanks so much to Laurie Millotte. You can find her online on LinkedIn and at her website, which is lauriemillotte.com. That's Lauriemillotte.com. This is Ilise Benun of marketing-mentor.com. And if you like what you hear and want more, please sign up for my quick tips and special deals at marketing-mentor.com. See you again soon.
Thanks for listening. Now go try out what you've learned. If you like what you hear, you can go to marketing-mentor.com and sign up for Ilise's quick tips from Marketing Mentor and her free 30-minute mentoring session to get your burning questions answered. Check out what's on sale in the Marketing Mentor shop, like the Pick a Niche Kit, proposal bundles for designers and copywriters, and the 30 Minutes a Day marketing plan. Ilise is also the host of the How Design Live podcast, a programming partner for How Design Live, the largest design conference, and you can learn all about that at howdesignlive.com. Until next time.